Thank you so much for your introductions. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for the Asian Pacific Health Promotion and the NCPD's workshop. Invite me as a moderator to introducing the speakers. But before I introduce these speakers, I would say, I still remember last time I spent here, it's about breast cancer screening this fall, organized by our previous team, Regent. It's a memory of Professor Lee Dong. And it's about, I think it's about 10 years ago. So I will congratulate him for the Dr. Cho and also everything for both of your candidates invite me, but you are very wise to choose this hall because this is very memory hall for such kind of conference. Anyway, the last speakers I will introduce is Dr. Han-Mo Cho, and he's now is a clinical professor, Department of Internal Medicine, NTU Hospital. And he's right now also the president of the Taiwan Endoscopy Societies. And it's very important because he's also our Taiwan Cancer Screening Program directors. He made a great contribution to Taiwan cancer screening with HPA. The director Shen, she just opened the mouth. And his staff and her staff, the director of the cancer prevention, Li Lu also sit down in the middle. So I think Han-Mo Cho it's not only made a contribution to Taiwan, but he made so strong collaboration across the globe, including towards the Asian Council, particularly Japan, Korea, and also Singapore. So let us welcome Dr. Cho to give him a warm round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Chen, who is my mentor in postgraduate in the warm introduction. So I'm very happy to be here and meeting our colleagues of public health. So today I make this presentation on behalf of Taiwan Colorectal Cancer Screening Program. And you can see that currently I'm the president of the biggest group of members Taiwan. So yeah, that's a big group of GI endoscopies. So this is very important that because the colorectal cancer screening program, the quality of colonoscopy play a very crucial role. And also this is the 10th anniversary that I served as the principal investigator that is designated by Professor Chen 10 years ago. So it is a great opportunity to introduce our program and please give this presentation the reference for your better understanding of the program. So this is my COI disclosure. So first of all, I would like to talk about the screening program. So the ultimate goal of colorectal cancer screening is not only about how to reduce colorectal cancer death by detection of cancer and avoid occurrence of colorectal cancer by removing the cancerous lesion, but also about how much you would like to spend to avoid colorectal cancer death and colorectal cancer. So colorectal cancer is probably one of the most evidence-based screening for cancer. So currently we have many randomized controlled trials, especially skill-based tests, and also many well-designed cohort studies to demonstrate the effectiveness of colorectal cancer screening. And after available multiple trial cohort study that we can make meta-analysis and also conduct procedure analysis, especially cost utility or cost effective analysis, so that we can know how much we should spend for one cancer or one cancer death. And finally, we can reach policy making. So, what is the difference of organized and opportunistic screening? According to the definition by IR, organized screening program has a very clear policy and the definition about the age range and also the method for screening and the interval for screening. And we also have a dedicated team that is responsible for implementation and the quality control, thereby avoiding overdiagnosis, avoiding the harm caused to our population by poor quality screening. So here are some of the essential items before starting an organized screening program. Firstly, we need public health and power, and then we need a qualified laboratory. We use stool tests, stool test, and thirdly, we need a sufficient capacity for treating the screen-detected cancer, and then the mechanism for quality control. And most important thing in population screening program is that we need a population-based cancer registry and the test registry so that we can evaluate the effectiveness of the screening program, and the funding support from the government or other private sector is also indispensable. And finally, the support from our professional community is also very, very important. So lastly, I would like to share our 20-year journey of Taiwan colorectal cancer screening program. So the advantage of two-step screening using FIT is that its positivity rate is only 4 to 10%. Therefore, we only need to perform colonoscopy for a very smaller population compared to the entire target population. And you can see that 1 out of 20 FIT positive subjects is invasive cancer. So this likelihood is much higher than the prevalence of colorectal cancer in the general population. That means FIT can increase the likelihood of detecting significant neoplasia and make the most efficient use of our public health and professional manpower, especially the labor-intensive colonoscopy capacity. So after the enactment of our Cancer Control Act in 2003, we launched our population screening program in 2004 using the single sample FIT and using 50 microgram hemoglobin per gram of stool at the cutoff. And those with positive tests are referred for diagnostic colonoscopy. And we took a gradual rollout strategy. So in the initial 5 years, the main program of the colorectal cancer screening was in regional health bureau. And after 2010, we also invited hospital clinics to deliver the kit. And in 2015, we implemented a colonoscopy quality audit mechanism. So this slide shows the framework of our screening program. And the most important component of our screening program is that we have a central screening database, and also we link this screening database to National Cancer and Death Registry. So this slide shows the annual number of population that participated in screening. So in the year of 2014, we achieved a rather high rate of screening. We have a 57% average screening rate and 70% of colonoscopy after a positive fit. So this slide shows the remarkable stage shifting by screening. So you can see in clinically diagnosed population, one-fourth of the cancer diagnosed were stage 4. So this is a strong contrast with the screen-detected cancer, within which stage 4 only account for 99%. So this stage shifting foresee our future reduction of colorectal cancer base. So this slide shows the 10-year result of our organized screening program. So by annual screening, we successfully reduced 35% of colorectal cancer mortality and 29% reduction in advanced stage colorectal cancer, comparing those who participated at least one with screening. However, we also encounter several challenges and obstacles. The first one is the insufficient screening participation. So please bear in mind that no matter how high or how good is the performance of the screening test, if the screening update is not sufficient, then you cannot detect any significant lesion. So screening update is very, very important. And this is a very good example showing how important screening update is. So this is a randomized control trial comparing FIT and colonoscopy conducted in Spain. So everybody knows that colonoscopy is the gold standard in the nation with the highest sensitivity for not only cancer but also for adenoma. But in this trial, you can see that in the FIT arm, the participation rate was 10% higher in the store screening arm. Therefore, we can see that the detection rate for cancer is 1%. And you can also see that the detection for advanced adenoma was higher in colonoscopy. But please remember that people will undergo FIT screening 2 years later, so it is still possible to detect neoplasm at a benign stage or at a curable stage. So later on, I will introduce the result of this randomized control trial that published this year in Lancet. So this slide shows the chronological change of the screening participation in Taiwan. So you can see that in 2021, our screening participation reached 66%. And you can see over the past few years, there is a trend of protruding in screening participation. So how can we improve the public acceptance of participation in colorectal cancer screening? So there have been several studies showing that short message or mail fit kit or some other approaches could increase the screening uptake of the public. But what we are thinking right now is to make advantage of the very high density of convenience store in Taiwan. So you can see in Taipei, if you only come 7-Eleven, you can see that the density is even higher than the clinic or hospital, and it is 24 hours open. So it provides a very good and convenient opportunity for the people to submit their stores food. And because some of the people have bowel movement in the midnight after eating their snack. So I think this is a new trial together with Professor Chen. We are now considering whether this could become a viable option to enhance our screening outlet. The second challenge is the interval cancer. So there are two categories of interval cancer. The first one is the cancer that occurs within 2 years after a negative fit. The other occur after colonoscopy without the diagnosis of cancer. So these two interval cancer actually comprise nearly 25% of the colorectal cancer diagnosed within the screening program. So you can see that with interval cancer and post-colonoscopy colorectal cancer were more advanced in stage. So that means the survival of this colorectal cancer will be poorer compared with the screen diagnosed one. And the reason why fit interval cancer occur is that some cancer located in the proximal colon are less likely to be detected because the blood would degrade or get lost during the bowel movement, and also in the proximal colon, the presence of C-cell-selective adenoma, a different pathway of colorectal cancer, are more prevalent, and such kind of lesion are also less likely to be detected by FIT. And our recent study investigating the FIT interval cancer in Taiwan showed that molecular features were different from the detected one. So in the future, when we are developing this screening test, we should consider the different molecular features of the FIT interval cancer. And also, the performance of individual doctor or individual hospital play a very important role on the performance or the protective effect of colonoscopy. So you can see that patients who underwent their colonoscopy in low ADR group, adenoma detection rate as the indicator of performance, then you can see this group of patients develop so many cancer even after the so-called dose-dependent elimination, and of course this leads to a higher mortality. So in 2015, together with the Health Promotion Administration, we announced and obligated every hospital to use a standardized colonoscopy format to report their colonoscopy findings. So this is the system that we use in National Taiwan University Hospital, and we use the drop-down menu to avoid typo, and also include all the necessary items related to colonoscopy quality. And we can also see how long doctors spend in the colonoscopy procedure. So you can see that the instance of post-colonoscopy colorectal cancer declined gradually alongside the increasing C-col activation rate and the adenoma detection rate. So this is a very good example showing that good quality lead to a better outcome. So you can see that the C-col activation rate and the adenoma detection rate, two of the most important quality indicators for colonoscopy, is moving toward a better direction. However, another very important finding from our study is that we found that although the total number of post-colonoscopy colorectal cancer was less in the high ADR hospital. However, once it occurred, their survival was very bad. What caused this finding? So colonoscopy is of course not perfect. It may cause colorectal cancer owing to incomplete observation of colonic mucosa caused by large procedure or probe preparation, and also some important but subtle lesions were overlooked by the endoscopist. And some doctors only remove one polyp and then restore their scope because the payment by the destination of the patient is the same regardless of the number of polyp removed. So, finally, probably different biology of this post-colonoscopy colorectal cancer that occurred in high area group. So I'm not sure whether there is any GI doctor audience, but if anybody can tell me where the lesion is. Probably nobody can find anything. So actually this is a 4 centimeter large lesion located in the transverse colon of the patient, in no other region. So if based on the surveillance guideline of the US, this patient will be put into a 10-year surveillance interval. So definitely PCCRC, post-colonoscopy colorectal cancer, will occur in this patient. And this is another example. So again, I show you where the lesion is. So this is the systematic lesion that we detected in a field positive case. So if you overlook such kind of region, then again, another post-colonoscopy colorectal cancer. So to mitigate such kind of issues, we also explore whether people who come back again for free screening had a lower risk of incident colorectal cancer even after colonoscopy. So you can see that people who receive interval fit means the fit screening in between the colonoscopy surveillance interval, and we observe this group of people has a 53 lower risk of developing colorectal cancer. So after this study, our screening program decided to advise people to go for free screening even after negative colonoscopy. So this is our approach. The third challenge is colonoscopy-related complication. In fit positive colonoscopy, the number and the size of the lesion is much larger than those detected in ordinary colonoscopy. So this leads to a higher risk of bleeding complication. And we conducted a randomized control trial comparing post-nail polypectomy and husband polypectomy. Traditionally, cauterization is performed during resecting a polyp, but a newly developed post-nail polypectomy just reset without cauterization, and this leads to a lower risk of bleeding. So you can see that the severe bleeding was 8:1. So by post-nail polypectomy, we successfully reduce the risk of colonoscopy-related bleeding. So you can see that this method gradually become the mainstay polypectomy method in Taiwan. And we also observed in the national level, and before the implementation of post-nail polypectomy, our bleeding rate was higher than the benchmark proposed by the American Society of GI Endoscopy. But nowadays, our rate of bleeding was much lower, and this ensure the safety of the screening and concurrently improve the public acceptance of colorectal cancer screening. And another challenge is young onset colorectal cancer. So this is the incidence of colorectal cancer in people aged 40 to 49 in Taiwan. This is a very high rate. And if you look at the incidence of colorectal cancer in Taiwan over the recent 3 decades, so you can see that even after the start of the national health insurance, the rate keep on rising. And after the launch of the national screening program, the trend continued. And only after 5 or 6 years of our national screening program, then gradually declined. However, if you look very carefully into the age group around 50, then you can see that the incidence of 50 to 54 is still fluctuating. However, 40 to 44 and 45 to 49 age group has a very steep upwarding trend of colorectal cancer. So our recent study showed that there was a very significant burst cohort effect and a period effect of advanced colorectal neoplasm in population age 40 to 49. So thanks to the earlier cohort in Keelung and Tainan, so we analyzed those who attended after screening between the age of 40 to 49 and those who attended screening only after 50. And we observed a significant reduction in colorectal cancer mortality and colorectal cancer incidence. So based on this data, our government started to lower the age of screening to 45 this year. So this is the sticker and the poster printed by our society. So we give this to our clinic and hospital and to promote colorectal cancer from the age of 45. So our road ahead is very, very challenging. So almost all the Asian countries are experiencing aging population, and a lot of money was spent on the healthcare of the elderly. So this is the population demographic in Taiwan. So you can see that the population size of age group 45 to 72 doubled in the past 2 decades. So this will become a very big challenge not only for ordinary healthcare, but also for cancer screening, because we don't have so many GI endoscopies. So this another evidence supporting us to use the private screening test is that the Spanish randomized control trial this year published in Lancet showed that there were no different rate of colorectal cancer incidence and mortality based on the intention to screen analysis. So of course, everybody knows that colonoscopy has a higher sensitivity for cancer and advanced adenoma. However, if you consider the public acceptance, then the overall effect of reducing colorectal cancer and colorectal cancer deaths were almost the same. So we know that fecal hemoglobin concentration was associated with the risk of having advanced neoplasm, increasing invasive cancer and colonoscopy. So we use this as a biomarker to trigger the so-called precision colorectal cancer screening. So you can see the later the people go for colonoscopy after positive fit, then the risk of colorectal cancer and advanced stage cancer was much higher. And another very interesting and important finding is that the higher the fecal hemoglobin concentration, then the risk is much higher. So right now, we refer a subject with high fecal hemoglobin concentration failure for colonoscopy examination to avoid progression of the disease or progression from non-cancerous advanced adenoma to invasive cancer. So those who were not compliant to colonoscopy after positive fit had a much higher risk of colorectal cancer deaths. This is very visible. However, we found that those with higher concentration had a higher risk of dying of colorectal cancer if they were not compliant to colonoscopy after positive fit. So nowadays, hospital, those with very high concentration probably will get 10 phone calls if they were not compliant to colonoscopy. So yeah, so probably the only way is to turn off their mobile phone. Otherwise, we will probably to come back to hospital. And another important application of this quantitative measurement of fit is that even after colonoscopy, it can use to predict future risk of PCCRC. So recently, we analyzed whether this can provide a more personalized or more precision surveillance interval based on the fecal hemoglobin concentration. And our findings show that by this way, we can, on one hand, reduce the risk of colorectal cancer, and at the same time, we can reduce the demand for surveillance colonoscopy. So this is the win-win strategy that could be adopted in countries using the colonoscopy modality. And we also use this concentration to tailor those with negative fit for the next fit screening. So those with very low level of hemoglobin concentration can prolong their screening interval. But on the contrast, if they have a higher concentration, probably they should not wait for 2 years, but just come back for fit screening next year. So fit concentration could play a crucial role in the precision colorectal cancer screening. And finally, I would like to talk a little bit about the future direction. So I have mentioned that fecal intubation rate and the adenoma detection rate is two of the most important colonoscopy quality. However, alongside the progression of our screening program, the PCCRC that could be explained by fecal intubation rate and the ADR is decreasing. That means we need other indicators to measure colonoscopy quality. So, because the positive cases have more adenoma, larger adenoma, and the doctor had to spend more time dealing with this lesion. So around 2 years ago, we offer additional payment for fit positive colonoscopy. That means by performing fit positive colonoscopy, GI doctor can get double payment compared with the ordinary colonoscopy. So this can reduce the doctor to perform useless colonoscopy. How to say useless? So some people just come every year for colonoscopies because of a very tiny polyp that detected 10 years ago, and they come every year. So if fit positive colonoscopy can get more incentive, then doctor will shift to a more profitable colonoscopy and reduce the unnecessary colonoscopy. And another new approach by Taiwan is we pay the polypectomy by the number of polyp detected. So previously, all the polypectomy get the same reimbursement by our healthcare system. But now we stratify into a different tier based on the number of polyp receptors. So now we can work like a taxi driver with dignity and no GI endoscopy have to rush the procedure and move on to the next patient. So I can show you, no matter how many bottles, how many polyps you resected previously, you can get the same reimbursement. So you can imagine many doctors just cut 1 or 2 and then go with it. Okay. So after the implementation of this new reimbursement policy, you can see the total number of adenoma increased dramatically, and you can see even the advanced adenoma also increasing number. And the most exciting thing is that the detected high-grade dysplasia less than 1 centimeter increasing remarkably. So this is a very good example showing how reimbursement system improve the quality of colonoscopy. And this could be trade-off by future reduction of PCCRC. So this is my final 2 slides. So, what is the impact of colorectal cancer screening on the entire Taiwanese population and the colorectal cancer epidemiology? So, if we count all the age groups all together, then you can see that the incidence was still fluctuating, and of course, case fatality declined because all the people can get access to very good health care after being diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and then the mortality was still rising. However, if we confine the analysis to only age group exposed to screening, then you can see incidence and mortality will both decline. So this is the real impact of colorectal cancer screening in the national level. So colorectal cancer screening is cost saving. If you were diagnosed at a later stage, then you have to spend not only money but also your time, and sometimes you will also lose your work. So this is a big loss to our country. So you can see that after implementation of colorectal cancer screening, we save a lot of money for the government. And in 2016, we saved NT dollar of 0.8 billion. And during the period of 2004 to 2016, we saved new Taiwan dollar of 4.6 billion. And if the screening update could achieve a perfect level, then we can save double of this number. So screening is not just a test, it's about many aspects and quality issues. And by conducting the organized colorectal cancer screening, that we can maximize the effectiveness of our screening. And the quality is the lifeline of the colorectal cancer screening program. And we also have to strive to improve the topic awareness and the procedure screening by using frequent concentration is our future direction. Thank you, and sorry for the overtime.
Thank you so much for the lecture. Give a very deep insight, challenging, and also directions. Particularly, one size fits all decision screening. Also, I think the financial burden, economic value, based on Taiwan screening program from the past years. I think because time is still very, very tight, so I open one question from the floor. Any more? Yeah, please.
Very good. Ask a very quick question. So Professor Cho pointed out the importance of fetal hemoglobin level, right? In this kind of test, how routine or you should pay more to get the result?
Yes, this is still in research level. However, so in clinic, we can see the concentration, but we are not allowed to inform the level to the patient. And also in the US, quantitative fit is not yet approved by the US FDA. So there are still a long way to go. But I think probably Taiwan and I'm not sure about Dutch. The Dutch program will be the first two countries that apply fetal hemoglobin concentration to tailor future interscreening interval or colonoscopy interval.
Yes, this is actually been published in Lancet Oncology. When you were in we have a place. Actually, it's a free test from Japan. So everybody know the fit and the treat everything is useful to CG for the cancer. But we are waiting for USA FDA also to approve because the person who gets still have informed only in the hospital. They don't know. So, okay. I think, again, thank you so much for Professor Chiu and let us give him applause again. Yeah.